Hello, I'm Interweb Studios, and about 2 weeks ago I released a video regarding dark secrets people were willing to share with Reddit. I left a lot of not safe for work stories out of that video, and in this video we will cover those stories. That is my warning regarding the topic of this video, and with that, sit back and watch people reveal some of their darkest secrets. Not really dark, but just heartbreaking. I grew up in a charismatic evangelical cult. I was physically, not sexually assaulted by the pastor and several churchgoers in an exorcism to cure my depression and suicidal thoughts. It didn't work, obviously. I was 16 or 17 and tried to end my life pretty soon after, but failed obviously, otherwise this comment wouldn't exist. After my failed attempt, I spent weeks and weeks crying on the phone to suicide helpline and trans helpline at night. I often begged for them to just let me cry to them and vent, not to call authorities, as it would just make things worse for me instead of better. My sister actually found me one night because I cried so hard that I puked. I was in the bathroom because it was the safest and quietest place for me to call that late. She was between 14 and 15 at the time. I just remember she was asking if I was okay, and it was very obvious that I wasn't. She actually comforted me a lot. I can't remember what she said. All I remember is her kindness and her concern, knowing how badly I wanted to kill myself and how much I hated myself. She has always been my biggest support. 6 years later, we both escaped our parents. They're horrible, horrible people who believe the cult did nothing wrong and still attend the church I was assaulted at. I've been nearly a year no contact with them. Meanwhile, she still talks to them from time to time, but she maintains firm boundaries, and I am so beyond proud of her for that. I'm 22 now and had my first birthday without them. My sister made me a cake, got me a present, and we had a get-together. I didn't tell her then, but I was pretty sad the whole day. Not a single happy birthday from any of my family, and while I wanted it that way, and there's really no way for any of them to get in touch with me, I still miss my parents. I'm still just a scared kid who wants his mommy and daddy. I want my dad to tell me he's proud of me instead of what a duck-up I am, and, pardon my language, how retarded I am and how I'll never hold a job down. I want my mom to tell me I'm perfect the way I am and she will love me no matter what. I dealt with heavy drug use too as a result of trauma and fear of going to therapy. Yes, I had and still kind of have that fear. I've been clean and sober for 5 months, but some days I just remember everything and I start craving again. I'm just thankful I don't know other dealers, because I'd have OD'd for the umpteenth time by now. But I got myself where I am today. All without my parents. All without my family. I did that. I guess that's my dark secret. We are all proud of you for surviving through all of this hardship. It's hurt to hear, and I believe that it's more hurt to you who actually suffer this. I sincerely hope that it will make you a stronger and better person and won't have to go through this again in future. I felt relieved when my dad killed himself. While he had a lot of mental health issues, he was also not a very nice person and put me and my family through a lot of pain for many years. I have countless stories of the ducked up things he said and did. I now have conflicting feelings, where I am sad that someone suffered so much pain and inflicted so much pain on others, but I'm also relieved that it is over and I don't honestly miss him at all. I suffered from horrific intrusive thoughts due to OCD, and for 28 years I thought something was wrong with me. That I may end up being a predator, murderer, psycho, even though all of the thoughts made me physically sick. I was genuinely scared to babysit my 2-year-old nephew alone, because what if I accidentally threw him down the stairs? I finally opened up to my therapist and she helped me work through it all, and I'm not triggered anymore and I can finally live peacefully. I recently learned that the intrusive thoughts are so bad because your brain takes the stuff that disgusts you and makes that the invasive thought. Your intrusive thoughts are things that terrify you, so please don't feel like a bad person for having them. I genuinely fear that I'm only nice and considerate due to habit and training. You could suffer from imposter syndrome. I'm depressed and have awful anxiety, and I know that just saying those words make me feel like a manipulative liar. Every time I'm told I'm a good person, I have a thought that's just like, they have no idea who I really am. I don't really do anything malicious and I try to be kind and I'm very emotionally intelligent, but no matter how much I do, I'm always just doing it to make up for what I've done. If you've got a therapist, tell them. I'm in a bad place right now. My partner is sick, brain damage after a sudden illness. Most days he is his old self, but some days he is a stranger to me. He's angry and confused, he doesn't know me, gets into a rage and I have to calm him. I have to remind him of the 13 years we've shared together. I have to break his heart and remind him that his dad is dead. It's worse because to people on the outside, he seems totally fine, just a bit quieter than usual. They don't see him when he's confused or wondering who I am. It's hard, and I'm burning out, between work, study, caring for him, volunteer work, and now we have to ducking move house, and as he has mobility issues, most of it will be left to me. He'll be upset and confused at the change. I will not leave him, I adore him. But it's made me realize that the life we had planned is not going to happen. We were planning a baby. And we still want one, but I've had to accept that it likely won't happen as he has mobility and memory issues. He cannot work, so how can I go to work and leave him with a baby, a toddler, when I come home and the oven is smoking because he forgot he turned it on? He is so excited talking about this baby we are meant to have in a few years' time. We had names picked, and I cannot bring myself to tell him that I don't think it'll happen. I desperately want his baby. But I've had to cut myself off from excitement about it because how can I tell him that his illness is the reason why we shouldn't have one? It's so hard because we both talk about it, we get excited, he says beautiful things about us having a baby together, and then it hits me again that it'll probably never happen. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken. I'm sad. We're not bad people. We try and help when we can, we keep to ourselves, we don't cause trouble, and we've had such a shitty run of luck lately. This is the nail in the coffin for me, and I cannot take much more of this shit. I've never felt such hatred for a god, deity, whatever cosmic force there may be, but I wake up from what little sleep I get, every day, begging whatever the duck is out there, to leave us alone. I want my old life back. I want my old partner back. I want our future back. And I'm so ducking angry because people keep telling me to be grateful he isn't worse. And I am grateful, my God. I was told if he lived, he'd be in a wheelchair and he defied the odds. But just because he's doing okay doesn't mean I'm not allowed to feel. I'm ducking angry. And I'm sick of people dismissing my feelings about what happened because they say it didn't happen to me. It happened to us. He doesn't remember a damn thing about that night. I remember everything. I remember him seizing in bed. I remember calling 112. I remember him seizing again and again. I remember doing compressions on him. I remember him terrified, saying my name before he seized again, into unconsciousness for 26 hours. He doesn't have epilepsy. He's never had any health issues bar a broken foot. It was so random and so out of the blue. I'm sick of whatever is throwing all of this at us, and I know how horrible I sound because there are people in worse situations, but I'm just ducking done. Whatever is out there, whatever I've done to have this fall back on us, just leave him alone. He's a good, kind, sweet man, he doesn't deserve any of this. Just please stop because I actually can't take any more. Edited to add. I am so deeply touched and overwhelmed at the kind, compassionate people who took their time to comment on an internet stranger's mad vent. You are all absolutely beautiful, fantastic human beings, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being so nice to a total stranger. Edit 2. I've been asked by a few people if I can see a therapist. Unfortunately, our financial situation is so tight right now due to my partner being unable to work. It also costs me over €100 a week to get to and from work, so unfortunately, a counselor for me is not on my immediate priority list, when we're struggling to even have money to pay the bills and get me to work. I have, however, put my name down for a free therapist session which I'm hoping will happen within a few months. I know it seems silly of me to get myself a treat every week when we are struggling, but honestly sometimes it's the €6 coffee pastry combo that helps me through the week. Above all else, please hug your loved ones. I'm going to go give my big old bear a snuggle. Back in college, my floor mates thought I needed to loosen up. They all knew I had a bad first sexual experience and wanted to help. So they did nothing but hand me drink after drink one night at a pregame. I was happy people were being cool to me. One drink was drugged. I don't remember leaving the dorm that night, even though I was told that we all went to a bar. And I don't remember the bar, or getting back. But I do remember waking up in the morning, naked, with a condom still on my dick, and a girl sitting in my desk chair. When I woke up I questioned, almost paralyzed, in shock. She said, "I only stayed because I thought you might be dead." I can't believe they convinced me to do this. I had never seen her before and didn't know her name, but saw her around campus from time to time, where I avoided her and she avoided me. I confronted my floor mates who got incredibly defensive and brushed it off. They saw it as me getting with a very attractive girl. No apologies from anyone. People question me as to why I'm still painfully single, 9 years later. You've got a big heart, you would make someone happy. I've told one person about this, who laughed and said, "Well, at least it wasn't real rape." So I don't tell anyone now. I'm terrified because I feel I would not be taken seriously. I've never had a real relationship, nor a healthy sexual experience. I'm not sure if I'll ever be at a place where I can achieve that. And at this stage, what's the point? Even if I find someone tomorrow, I'd be in my 30s getting married, and who knows about kids. Fully expecting to be alone for the future, even if I don't really want it to be that way. Don't let anyone tell you that wasn't real rape. Seek therapy. It can be so helpful. Do not look at potentially getting married in your 30s or later as a bad thing. Look at it as entering a huge commitment with a lot more life experience under your belt and with your sense of self, and that of your partner hopefully more fully developed. A lot of people who married younger wish they had done this. Good luck. Growing up, my single mother would take out her frustrations physically on her children. So I spent time with 4 weekend foster families, 2 full-time foster families, 2 years at a boarding school, a couple weeks at my dad's place, foreign national who still lives here but doesn't speak the local language after 35 years, and a couple years at something called an efterskole, a type of boarding school but specifically for finishing up what is essentially high school. While all of that was traumatic enough, I moved to the neighboring country for a few years following my coming of age, to live with my then girlfriend, and when she broke up with me, I broke. It's been 14 years since, and I still haven't been able to create a relationship, platonic or otherwise, with a woman since. Whenever a bond is being formed, it simply snaps as I subconsciously retreat out of self-preservation. After seeing a therapist, it turns out I have rejection PTSD from not only my mother, but from most of the female authority figures I've had throughout my life. I don't hate women, so let's not take it to a misogynistic place. I just can't trust them because I'm emotionally scarred. Bonus story. The second full-time foster family simply drove me to my mom's one day at age 14, and while I ran in to get my mom, dropped off all my stuff on the sidewalk and drove off. I came back out with my mom to just see my stuff there and them gone. I still don't know why, and I've always been scared of what the answer would be if I sought it out. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Despite making this video for entertainment, I wish the best for everyone. If you notice someone who needs help, do your best to lend a hand. I found OP's comment buried among many, and I think it describes my opinion on the topic. Everyone is fighting silent battles. I hope everyone receives the love and care that we all deserve as human beings. I hope everyone finds the peace that we all search for. If you enjoyed, do not forget to like, subscribe and comment your opinions down in the comments. And until next time.